Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. I've got the new Timber Turbo Evolution. I'm pretty excited about it. It's a good airplane. This is going to be probably the 4th or 5th flight, just getting everything broken in, making sure that all my trims are manually set to where I want them to be. And so now's a good time to go ahead and throw a video up and show you guys the performance, the characteristics of it. So far, I don't have any complaints. It's an excellent airplane. I have owned every single timber that they've made, and it's, every time they come out with a new one, they do, they keep improving. So flying on an NX10 today. I'll show you the motor reversing function, but if you've flown the old turbo timber or if you've seen the old one fly, not a huge difference. I do think that this one has a little bit more power. So we'll go ahead and see how fast we can get it off the ground. And I'm flying on a 4S 2200. So I would say the STOL characteristics are the same as the old one. One thing you will notice is the colors on this one are so much better than the old one. It's a lot easier to see. One of my favorite things about that actually is the belly. They've painted the belly red, which looks really, really good. So if I'll bring it around, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that red underside of that fuselage there looks great. The roll rate has improved a little bit, not vastly, but it is better than what it used to be. That's one of the things that I always wished about the turbo timber, was that the roll rate was better. So here is the roll rate at max throttle. So yeah, the transit time is not that bad. I do wish it was a little bit faster though, but that's okay. We'll take what we can get. And here is a full power punch out. Tons of power. I mean, it doesn't lack power at all. I do believe it has more than the outgoing timber. Very quiet model as well. Inverted flight with this timber is vastly better than the outgoing turbo timber. I found the outgoing turbo timber to have very, very crappy characteristics inverted. It took a lot of throttle, it took a lot of down elevator, and if you needed to get out of the inverted flight by doing an outside loop or an inverted loop like that, mine basically just wouldn't do it. Didn't have the elevator authority, but this one sure does. We'll go full flaps here. Show you the STOL characteristics. Flies very slow, obviously. I don't think it flies any better, or any slower than the old one. They do advertise a stiffer wing. I think I can feel that. May feel a little bit more rigid. A little bit of wind there. Tons of power. This plane also will do very, very beautiful knife edges as well. And the one thing I love about the knife edging this plane is it only requires 50% throttle to do a knife edge, a sustained knife edge. Very good elevator authority, and you can do loops in absolutely no time. I am running the elevator and the rudder in the furthest holes towards the fuselage, so I get the most throw. They tell you to put them in the outermost hole, and I just don't believe that's enough throw, especially for the rudder, in my opinion. So now that you've seen the basic flight characteristics, I'll do a high-speed pass for you as well. It's a very fun airplane to fly, even quite sporty, although it does have that very large wing there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some landings, I should say, maybe a touch and go or two, and I will show you the motor reversing function, and we'll wrap it up. Full flaps, and I'll try to come in a little fast so I can show you that reverse function. I have a headwind, so it's not really helping me out, is it? So yeah, there you go. A lot of the times you just don't need it because this airplane lands so slowly, but I have my reverse function set on my B switch right here, and it's very easy to get to. My finger rests there. We'll do a no flap takeoff. More of a scale kind of rollout. And you'll notice that when you're gliding this airplane, if you do have that reversing function, your prop will stop. So it's just barely spinning. And in the manual, and do use the online manual, don't use the physical one they give you. It's out of date. They've made some corrections. So we'll go ahead and try and land without the motor function, the motor reversing, see if maybe you can kind of tell that the rollout is a little bit longer. I do have a headwind though, so that's not really helping. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, it much longer than what it would have been if you would have used the motor reversing. And of course, safe works very, very well on this airplane. Safe always works well. And on a 4S 2200, I am getting 5.5 minutes of flight time. And that's flying pretty hard too. So I will maybe go up, but I really like the 4S 2200. It keeps the airplane light, nimble, and I get enough flight time personally for how long I like to fly. So we'll use the motor reversing function this one last time and call it a day. I kind of wish I had a tailwind so I could show you just how good it is. Bring it in closer. So yeah, I mean, it stops pretty much instantly. But yeah, the Turbo Timber Evolution's an excellent airplane. I love the exterior of it. This is actually a very large decal. This is not paint. Most of everything on this airplane is a decal or a skin, like a covering. I really like that because it won't chip. It also protects the foam as well, and they did a very good job applying it on my particular airplane. Very, very little air bubbles, and more than likely they will work their way out in the heat. But the tips of your wings are painted, and of course the front here, your cowl is plastic, and the top of your nose here, your anti-glare here, that's painted as well. But most in the belly is painted. Everything else is a decal, and I'm actually a big fan of the decals. I think they look great, and I think the people I think the factory putting them on, I think they did a really good job. It really seems like they took their time and cared about the way it looked. So I'm very happy with it. And I love the technology that it has. Of course, if you're running like an NX10 or any of the newer transmitters, you get, you know, telemetry and all that good stuff. So anyway, if you have any questions about the Turbo Timber Evolution, leave a comment, and thank you for watching.